Half a day. Thank you for joining us. I'm May Habib from PNC News First. We are joined today on Coffee with the Candidates Double Shot by Michelle Armenta, who's a Republican senatorial candidate for this upcoming legislature. Hello, Michelle. I want to jump right into it. COVID is everywhere. It's everything that everybody is talking about. Tell me, how do you feel the current administration has done responding to the COVID pandemic on Guam?
Well, that's an interesting question considering all the news that's come out today. I think that it is definitely. I understand everything that happened at the beginning in March when we didn't know anything about the coronavirus, but a lot has happened since then. There have been a lot of studies conducted. We have learned a lot more about the virus. And I know that numbers are growing, but I also know that what we are doing is not working because the numbers keep increasing. So my concern right now is the lack of power that the legislative branch is having, or I should say, I guess the executive branch is trying to take away from the legislative branch. So I'm not very happy with that at all, because now we're having freedoms that are taken away from us, and it feels like this lockdown is going to be turning us against each other when you're starting to encourage other people, your neighbors, to turn you in so that they can get a reward because you're not staying at home past 7 o'clock, or you decide to take your rowdy kids who are anxious about being locked up inside the house and wanting to take them for a ride, even just to drive around so they can look at the beach. I find that to be very disturbing. So what I really want to do is I really want to make sure that when the new legislative, when the 36th legislature goes into office, that we really put a check on that if this 35th doesn't take care of that now, because we can't let one branch take control over the entire system. So that's my take on that.
So you mentioned the lockdowns a little bit. A big part, a big vocal part of the lockdowns has been the business community, who said, that they've really been impacted the most by the pandemic and that they haven't felt the help that they think that they deserve from the administration. How would you stimulate Guam's economy again? How would you get us going?
The only way you can really get going is if you actually open up the economy. And you can't do that when you're in full lockdown mode. And the problem with keeping everybody locked down is that more and more jobs are getting lost because more and more businesses are closing. So it really isn't benefiting anybody by keeping everybody locked down. So the first thing we need to do is we need to open up the island. Other things we can do to assist the businesses, obviously, is to roll back taxes, is to reduce or eliminate any fees. We need to encourage businesses, especially businesses with fresh ideas that won't conflict with the current health concerns. We also need to build our labor. So we need to form partnerships with businesses, with the community college. We have to have training programs to meet company specific needs. We need to have apprenticeship programs. We need to not just fix things, but I think we also need to build things. So I think that we need to start looking at different areas to form new businesses, to create new businesses, because we have way too many businesses that are closing. And so any business that is either still open for business by the time these lockdowns are over and done with, which will hopefully be sometime before the year ends, we need to help them out, and we need to create that business friendly environment. And right now it is not business friendly, which is why you're having a lot of negative feedback from the business community.
Yeah. Tell me, we're wrapping up our interview here. Michelle, if you can give me a 30-second sort of elevator pitch of why people should be voting for you, what would that be?
I think that people should vote for me because I am all about being transparent and having the government become transparent. And we need to start holding our government accountable for their actions, especially where spending is concerned. We also need to bring back the checks and balance system, and while focusing on our economy and we can't have a third of the population reliant upon temporary unemployment. And yeah, so and we need to do this while we're also focusing on the welfare of and the health and welfare of the people of the island.
Okay, Michelle, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Coming up next, a lighter conversation with Reese the Beast, getting to know Michelle Armenta. Stay tuned.
Half a day, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with the Candidates, a double shot. We got some fun things, some fun questions on the way, and everyone always gets so nervous about this part. But I reassured our girl, Michelle, that it's gonna be fine. Half a day, Michelle, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much for joining us here on Coffee with the Candidates. Now, let's just get right into it. Are you ready for the nitty-gritty hard questions?
Sure, hit me with it.
All right, so my first question for you is, what are some fun activities that you have been doing to help pass the time during quarantine?
Pass the time during quarantine. Well, there's a lot of homeschooling, so there's not a whole lot of
Oh,
extra time. So I actually just enrolled my son from the public school to do full-on homeschooling. So I'm doing everything one-on-one with him. When we do have breaks, we do have PE time. So he likes to go and kick the soccer ball around outside. Every once in a while, he likes to, play catch or something. He also likes to play a lot of card games like Uno and Monopoly card game. So we do that, and somebody asked me this question the other day also. So on Sunday, which isn't very often, but I went to the shooting range, so that was
wow.
fun.
That is
That
a
was
lot of
that was
fun.
different.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot as a child, or well, not as a child, maybe like in like middle school, high school. Like my dad would take us out, and we just go shoot a couple of targets, and that was a lot of fun. I really liked it. It was cool because it was in a safe environment. But I'm happy to know that you are spending time with the family. I mean, even though you kind of have to with homeschool, right?
It's pretty good.
I'm
It's
ha-
pretty good. I don't
I'm
mind it.
I'm absolutely so happy to hear that. Now, another question I do have for you is on election day, if you win, what's for dinner? Who's cooking that dinner? What are we eating?
Well, that's definitely going to. Okay, so I am going to be out and about all day long. So if there's
Oh.
any cooking going on, it's not going to be by me. And not only that, but it's usually my brother that does the cooking because he's a chef in the family. But chances are it's probably going to end up being like Pizza Hut or some sort of pizza.
Oh, okay. That's so
Maybe
fun.
KFC or McDonald's since 'cause that's a close to my house.
Right, just something quick because, man, I know it's going to be such a long day for everybody. I mean, including yourself, all the waiting and, watching and just hoping. So I hope that you decide to eat in between all of that, okay? And maybe take a nap somewhere. All right.
I don't think nap is going to be possible.
Okay, so another question I have for you is, as a child, I mean, obviously now you're running to hopefully be voted into the next legislature, but what did you want to be as a kid? Was there something? I mean, I know not every kid thinks every day that they want to be a politician, but did you have anything else in mind for you?
I used to love to sing.
Wow, sing. Okay, I okay.
That's what I love to do. I would have loved to be a singer, but I don't feel comfortable with the microphone in front of my face, so that probably wouldn't be a very good profession for me.
Wow, I mean, you never know. So wait, that I have another question leading to that then, or speaking of that, what are some of your favorite songs to sing?
Oh my gosh. I don't really sing anymore, unfortunately. I know music has changed a lot. I when I do sing along, it's usually to country songs though.
Country songs. Honestly, those break my heart too much. Like
Hmm.
I don't want to admit it, but I like country music. But I always tell everyone I don't, only because it really, I'm just like, it hurts me too bad, man. It just hurts so much. It really does. But country
They have
music is
fun
so.
songs too.
No, that's true. That's true. You got some really cool songs over there sometimes. I'm like, wow, this is party fun over here in Country Town. I like that. I like that. All right. And one more question before we get into our community question. What is your favorite part of Guam, or what is your favorite thing about Guam, rather?
My favorite part or my favorite thing?
Yes.
Well, one of the reasons why I came back was, of course, to be around family. So I really missed that. So, because I think Guam is probably the one place, I have family everywhere, but Guam is probably the one place where I have the most family in a small area. So that's always nice.
Oh, I love that answer. I mean, and Guam is very much known for that. We're known for being very family oriented, always having family around. And so even when people go to states, right, they always try to make sure that they move somewhere near family if they do have family out there. And that's important. I think that's what makes us here in Guam especially, is just the fact that we're so very family oriented. All right, Michelle, so I have one more question for you, and this is coming from the community. And the question is, what is one topic or concern that you have that you would take care of if you were elected into office?
I think my biggest concern right now is the checks, or the lack of the checks and balance system going on in the government. So I'd like to put a little less power from from basically from the administration that's going on right now, and putting it back in the legislative branch.
I see. And do you think that would be, so this is just me adding on to that, but would that be like a long process, you think? Or how easy do you think that would be?
Well, it's like any other process when you when you have to amend a bill or some, process a new bill. It would be just the same. And of course, I'm sure it would be vetoed, but then
But you know what? You have to try, right? Why not? If that's something you
you
believe
have
in.
you have to.
Exactly, exactly. Michelle, you know what? We're just about to run out of time. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Coffee with the Candidates Double Shot once again. I want to wish you all the luck in the election. It was very nice meeting you in the first season, and then even talking to you now, I still feel that awesome vibe. So thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. And thank you everyone out there who's watching. Don't forget to make your vote, make it count, and vote for the people who you know will make the right choice, okay? That's just me telling you to vote for whoever you want to. My name is Reese the Beast, and I'm going to end things out here. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, Guam, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hafa, my name is Paulie Suba, representing PNC with another episode of Double Shot, Coffee with the Candidates. I have my coffee, and I'm with Mr. Dave Duenas, number 7 on the Democrat side of the ballot. Hafa, sir.
Hafa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm just going to get right into it because 36th legislature just around the corner. We're about to have this go down on Tuesday, November 3rd. And if you're elected to the 36th legislature, given Guam's shortage of healthcare professionals due to non-competitive wages, how would you combat that? How would you help the island compete in that workforce against other states and pretty much throughout the nation? And then also, how can you help fund GMH?
Good question. And as you're aware, Mr. Suba, just recently with the pandemic, our government actually put a word out and got a private company in the States to supply some much needed medical professionals, nurses, and doctors to come to Guam. And they were paid very well. And unfortunately, can't say that's the same for the local nurses and doctors. So first and foremost, could I get into the legislature in the 36? We're going to correct that.
Right.
I'm going to do my best to correct it, and my job is to get the other senators that sit in the 36 to come on board, and together, working as a team, we will make that happen. We will increase the the pay scale of the nurses and our doctors and make sure they're paid the appropriate wage.
Also, I noticed that you've taken a very strong stance, even before you put out your name to run for senator, all about taking care of the environment. Can you share a little bit more on what you plan to do to help Guam's environment?
Yes, first and foremost, if you're not aware, I am very active in the environmental issues.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did a show with K57 called Man, Land, and Sea.
Right?
And I brought in a lot of I brought in a lot of the experts in their different fields, everything from hydrologists, from UOG Marine Lab, and but the main thing that I'm really concerned about Guam and our environment is it's part of the environment. It's probably not the top priority, but one of the things that really gets
Right.
under my skin is the amount of trash that we have in our island. We need to reinstill the pride. I tell people all the time, we live in actual paradise. We should have more pride, take pride in our island, and it translates to our visitors that come to Guam and see the beauty of our island. And again, that's just one aspect of the environment. Of course, there's many other issues: sustainability, protecting our aquifers, our coral reefs. There's a whole gamut of issues. And because I am very involved in the environment, I'll get all the experts, all the people that know what they're doing as far as the environment, get them on board, get them to let us know, the legislature and myself, get us up to speed on what we need to do to protect our fragile environment.
Right. I know it's obviously against the law to litter, but some might say that there's not proper enforcement. How would you combat littering and just like, would you enforce the littering even more so, or would you add on even more citations?
I don't believe, I think you hit it on the nail. The issue is the enforcement part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Our mayors are empowered to issue citations. They're reluctant to do so, and,
Right.
and there's a reason why. They've stated many times,
Yeah.
the mayors have, that it's useless to cite them because our court system doesn't seem to want to prosecute them. So that again will be addressed under. Should I become a member of the 36th Guam legislature, I would definitely bring in the attorney general and ensure that they are prosecuted. That way, the mayors would know that their efforts in citing people that litter is not going unheard.
Right. Thank you again, Mr. Dave Duenas, number 7 on the Democratic side. We've got more questions. It's just not going to be with me right here on Coffee with the Candidate.
Half a day, and welcome to Coffee with the Candidates Double Shot. We're back here again for more fun questions, but with a different candidate. We do have Dave Duenas joining us. He's no stranger. Half a day, sir. How are you?
Half a day, Reese. Great to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for, of course, joining us. I'm really excited. This is all to help everybody be more informed on who they, should vote for, who they want to vote for. I mean, there's a lot of young people like me out here who don't know a lot of our candidates, so I'm happy that we can do this. But I'm gonna get right into it. I don't want to waste any time getting to know you even more. So my first question for you, sir, is what is your favorite thing to do to relieve stress?
I really miss it, and one of my favorite hobbies is I love to sing. But
Wow.
unfortunately, the bars and the karaoke clubs are not in business right now. So, but yeah, I love to sing, and I usually sing with friends that are in the band and or at the karaoke club. So that's what I like best.
Oh, okay, so that's so cool. What kind of do you have a certain genre, or what song do you like? What's your go-to karaoke song? That's a better question.
Kalapana.
Oh, really? Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Classics are always the best. I mean, can't get enough of it. All right, so besides that, I also wanted to know how have you and the family been during quarantine? I do miss seeing your daughter here, you know, when you would do your Land, Man, and Sea show. I know sometimes she'll stop on by. She's just the cutest. How's everybody?
Yeah, it's a learning curve, like everything, like
Mm-hmm.
everybody. As we speak, my daughter's in the other room doing her online schooling. So every single day, I stay home for at least an hour or two while she partakes in her online schooling. So it's a learning thing. We do everything. We try and follow all the procedures that are in place.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your distance, wash your hands, and I don't go out very often, only when I have to, and only to places that I need to go to take care of business.
Absolutely, and you know what? I'm so glad to hear that you're being safe in a lot of things you do. You know, so my next question is, do you like movies?
Do I like what?
Movies? Like movies?
Movies?
Yeah, movies.
Um, well, as far as the movie theaters, I know one of them, for example, shut down. That's the
Yeah,
one in the
I
gas.
know. It's so sad.
But personally, I don't frequent the movie theaters often. I tend to stay home, the big screen TV and
Yeah. Well,
Hulu,
do you watch any
Netflix.
movies on there?
Yeah, well, I watch a lot of movies now on Netflix and Hulu, both. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So actually, the reason why I asked that was because I wanted to ask if you could be in any movie that you've watched or maybe that you've seen, you know, clips of or whatever. What movie would you want to be in?
I would love to be in the Avengers.
The Avengers, and you have to tell me which Avenger would you be?
I would love to be Tony Stark, the Iron Man.
Oh wow, you know, he is not my favorite one, but I do appreciate everything he's done, and he got a lot of fans in the last movie, huh? With the whole dramatic thing, that one really hurt my heart, man.
Well, he's a smart guy. He's one of the smarter Avengers.
Yes, yes, indeed. All right, so one more question, sir, before we go into our community question is, as a child, what did you want to be growing up, or when you grow up?
I like that question. As a child, I wanted to join the Air Force, and I wanted to be a pilot. I was able to accomplish one of those goals, and I am an Air Force veteran. I did join the Air Force. Unfortunately, becoming a pilot was not in the cards, but it taught me a lot of great stuff. Being in the military, in the Air Force, taught me a lot of discipline. Taught me about being responsible. So again, that's what I wanted to be as a child. Wanted to be a pilot.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you got to do part of that at least. Um,
Yeah.
I super appreciate it. Now, we're actually going to get into our community question, and this is where we get questions from our community that are, you know, maybe have their own thing. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's really hard. So, our community question for this, or for you rather, is would you say that, if you were to win, rather, sorry, if you were to win the next, sorry, I am trying to rephrase this whole question here. I don't even know why. If you were to win and go into the legislature next year, do you think things will be hard to get accomplished, you know, with COVID-19?
Well, first and foremost, I do plan to win. So not if, but when. I always think positive. I don't think negative. And there's 29 total candidates for the legislature, and of course, every single one of them thinks they should be in there. And it's not up to us. It's up to you, the voters. And I tell everyone, you got to learn about each and every candidate, read between the lines, make a judgment if you think they're sincere, and if they're going to do what they say they're going to do. And it's going to be the 36th Guam legislature is going to have a really tough time, especially if we have a lot of newcomers. Hopefully we'll get some of the incumbents, the good ones, and there's 15 incumbents. Unfortunately, not all of them are that good. That's one of the reasons why I decided to run.
Awesome. All right, Dave. Well, we're pretty much out of time here. I want to thank you so very much for joining us on Coffee with the Candidates. I want to wish you good luck, and I know you're ready to help our island. So good luck to you when it comes to November 3rd. Be sure, everybody, that you vote. My name is Reese the Beast. I'm going to sign off here, but again, please vote. Make your vote count for the future of Guam. Have a wonderful day. Please be safe, and we'll catch you in the next one.